My names are Professor Henry Buisa. I am a professor of entrepreneurship at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Today, I'm going to talk about the basics of research, the research methods, and probably some methodology. I decided to make this talk because over time we have had students struggling and having challenges in selecting which research method to use and the procedure that they should take to undertake that particular research. I now want to take you to the screen and we talk about their research. As you can see, that is our College for Human Resource and Development. This is at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. I teach in the Department of Entrepreneurship, Technology, Leadership and Management. And those are my particulars. You can reach me. There's my email and even my website and my YouTube channel. I have a number of clips on my YouTube channel. Now, I want to say that all research starts with a research question, statement of the problem, and a literature overview, and of course, objectives, and then literature review. We have two major categories of research: qualitative research and quantitative research. And both qualitative research and quantitative research starts with what you are seeing on your screen. And then, having taken in consideration that quantitative research proceeds to set the normal testable hypothesis, a theoretical framework, and a conceptual framework based on variables, independent, dependent, call them what you want. And then after that, then collection of data. Collect data, and after having collected data, we use quantitative research uses statistical techniques to analyze data and deductively test the hypothesis that was set in the beginning. And after that, conclusions and recommendations are made. So that is quantitative research. Qualitative research takes a different route. After the literature overview, objectives, literature review, qualitative research develops a non-testable working hypothesis which stands in as a conceptual framework. This hypothesis has got no variables. In another clip, I'll be talking about the conceptual framework in detail. And after that, then qualitative research also goes out to collect data. And after collecting data, qualitative research employs inductive logic to analyze data, formulate hypotheses, and build theory. Indeed, to develop an initial understanding, and also reaches the conclusions and recommendations. You can see that there are common aspects. Data collection, both researchers, qualitative and quantitative, must be involved in that. Conclusions and recommendations, both qualitative and quantitative, must be involved in that. But the two major boxes in the middle of this flow diagram, in red and in blue, they differentiate the quantitative and qualitative research. Now let us go a step further and present a simplified research process and some key types of research. What are we saying here? That generally speaking, research goes through 4 stages. The first stage is research question, statement of the problem, that's very key. The second stage will be now literature review. And literature review then goes into theory and hypothesis, or theoretical conceptual framework. And after we've done that, where we have now hypotheses set out, then we go out in terms of research and do the empirical study. Now those are the 4 stages or aspects of research in general. Now we have types of research. One is deductive research, which is causal, explanatory, quantitative, theory and hypothesis testing, which are represented with the arrow, the blue arrow. Let's now go around the process of research in terms of quantitative research. It starts with the research question, it goes to literature review, it goes to theory, hypothesis, empirical study, and of course, because research is cyclical, it will go back and the cycle. You can see that quantitative research goes around the whole 4 stages of research as I explained. Then we have inductive research, which is exploratory, qualitative, theory and hypothesis building, represented by the dotted reddish line. It also starts, as we saw, starts with research question, statement of the problem, and then literature review. But as we said, not the direction now. After literature review, qualitative research doesn't build any hypothesis prior to going into the field. So it goes straight into the field to gather data, empirical data, and now using that data, analyzing that data, it builds a theory, it builds not the flow, and then again cyclical. Note that qualitative research covers all the 4, but not in the same order as quantitative. In qualitative research, we do not set a hypothesis that we shall go and test in the field. We go in the field, gather data, come and build the hypothesis. Then there is also descriptive research, which generally answers the question, what is on the ground, what is happening. We go out to describe an existing situation and look at how it's represented by the red. It also starts with the research question, goes to literature review, goes in the field, and back. Watch the flow of the red arrows. In descriptive research, there may be no need to build a theory, to test a theory, because it's simply describing a phenomenon, describing what is happening. So these are the major differences. Let's go through them again. Let's move through them again. That is quantitative research goes around the cycle. That is qualitative research starts, goes, and first of all goes to the empirical study before it comes to build data, build a hypothesis, and descriptive research finishes. So these are the major differences. Sometimes we are tempted to force our students to show hypotheses when they are actually going to do a qualitative research. Now, What have we learned, therefore? That one, all researches necessarily require one, research question, two, literature review, and four, that means empirical study. All researches require those. But not all researches necessarily require three, theory and hypothesis. Two, some researches test theory and hypothesis, that is quantitative researches, but other researches build theory and hypothesis, that is qualitative research. This needs to be understood well.